the other thing that I want to understand is this a real kimono, everybody?
Ooh, yeah, yep.
Is this a real kimono? Would you wear
No,
this as a kimono?
I would say that's not a kimono. Hey everyone, welcome back to another. Ooh, is that appropriate? Is that a dead person's kimono episode? We're the hosts. My name is MJ.
My name is Adam.
And welcome back to another fantastic episode, everyone. A place here is a place where you can join me and Adam, become our friends in this full-on English conversation to better your English listening and, hey, kind of get a feeling or understanding of what two foreigners' thoughts and minds are like. Because, understanding a language is one thing, but understanding a culture and the people on how they think is the next level of understanding. So that's what we're doing here. Like and subscribe if you want. We're going to get into it. Today, everyone, is going to be news. It's news time. Beep, 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 beep. We're going over to our favorite news source here in Japan, Sora News. Today, everyone, we have an article pulled up that I saw last year, actually, for 2021, something that happened. There was a Miss Universe pageant that happened, and there was some controversy that happened around Miss Japan.
Ooh.
Here it is. The link of this article will be down below so everyone can check it out later. Headline, Miss Universe 2021, Japan entry slammed for wearing dead person's kimono. There's a big picture right on the top of how she looked. And decided to take looks like the approach of
Shock
the view
value
of Japan from outside of Japan, I think. In quotes, everyone, cool Japan take on national costume criticism as an insult to Japanese culture. Ooh. The 70th Miss Universe pageant was held at the Universe Dome in Eilat, Israel this year, with 80 contestants from around the world trying to take home the title. Here in Japan, all eyes were on the Japanese contestants, Judy Watanabe, when she strutted out on stage in front of millions for the National Costume Show on December 10th. So while Watanabe looked amazing and held herself with poise like a seasoned professional she is, people in Japan fired up about what she was wearing, with many calling it an insult to Japanese culture. As the host says in the video, the costume is designed to celebrate the incredible Japanese Harajuku fashion culture. All right. So there's a highlight, a big emphasis on just Harajuku fashion, which popular around the world, especially in the US, because of, what was her name? Gwen Stefani opening up like that Harajuku line of clothing. She had like her Harajuku dancers in the background. And I think this was like a big thing for North America to kind of see like, whoa, okay, Japan has crazy fashion like this. Oh, there's a place, Harajuku, that's where this fashion is.
Right.
And that was kind of like a door, an open window to see what it's like. So then looks like this contestant went and ran with it. Let's continue the article. This design inspiration is likely where the problem started, because rather than showcase the national costume to the world in a modern way that remains sensitive to the culture of the country, this costume ended up mashing together stereotypes that are known to rub people in Japan the wrong way. Some commenters noted that the beckoning cat figures and Sailor Moon-esque cosplay aesthetic played into the stereotypical image of cool Japan, while others in tattoo-averse Japan wondered why Nihon, the kanji for Japan, was scrawled across the model's chest. Others took issue with the Japanese flags on the sleeves of her outfit and the chrysanthemum crest of the imperial family on her belt. Well, what do you think, Adam?
I have two thoughts.
All right, let's hear both of them.
And don't get angry in the comments, everyone. This is just not. This is my.
People can get angry.
I guess
these are our observations.
These are my observations. Get as angry as you want. Say whatever you want. This is what I see. The first thing that I see is this is Miss Universe the main point of this is to select a beautiful person from a country, is how I feel like any kind of
Mhm.
fashion pageant
Okay.
goes. And in the past, when there was like a Miss Universe who looked non-Japanese but was running for Japan, there were
Oh yeah,
negative
yeah.
comments about those kinds of things. They looked
True.
specifically and went the extra mile to do and perform like a Japanese person would. So now it's the
Mm-hmm.
opposite, where she looks exactly Japanese, but not the way she's dressed. And the
Right, right,
comments
right.
are based on her clothes. That's not what Japanese people are. So, what exactly
Mm,
is Japan in this case?
yeah, yeah. And it's
Is
really
what I
hard.
think what the point, she maybe, I could be reading it too deeply, but I feel like this is kind of like a way to say that this is cool Japan, but also this is what people see as Japan.
Yeah.
And when there's something negative about Japan, they see that too. So we have to show both sides.
Hmm.
Yeah, is what I feel.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
So definitely, I think there's a lot of people who had, you know, unhappy comments to say about
Yeah.
this contestant, as well as past
Past. Yeah.
contestants
Yeah.
not being, I guess 100%
Japanese. They
Japanese.
don't look
And I'm
Japanese.
sure there was plenty of people who were
Yeah.
supporting
Oh yeah, for
100%.
sure.
But for me, I thought, when I first saw it, I just thought of it as like, I'm going to please
Mhm.
the outside world.
Oh, okay.
This is a Miss Universe pageant,
Yeah.
not a Miss Japan pageant.
Mhm.
If you're going to be like, I'm fully representing Japan,
Yeah.
then you would want to stay like traditional, I feel, because in Japan,
Right,
from
right.
what I've learned out the 10 plus years living here, is that conformity is good.
Mhm.
You want to be like everyone else.
Right,
So
right,
I feel
right.
like that's where a lot of this hate comes from on the comments
Mhm.
for any of these contestants,
Right.
is when they step out of line,
Yeah.
or maybe do something that's like, not everyone wouldn't do that. That's not normal. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. That doesn't represent Japan.
Right, right.
Maybe she has a coach that was like, you got to do this. Maybe
True.
her
That's
coach
the
is her
that's
coach
the other thing.
Japanese. Maybe
Yeah.
her coach isn't Japanese, and
That's
just like,
the other
hey,
thing.
we don't see Japan as you walking with a beautiful kimono,
Mhm.
drinking matcha isn't cool. That's too real. I don't like that real stuff.
Ah.
I want to see Mount Fuji
Tokyo.
and sumo wrestlers
Yeah.
and ninjas
Yes,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like, that's what Japan is, right?
Right, right.
I want to, use chopsticks to put in your hair to
Right.
hold them up. Like, there's those hard stereotypes.
Right.
So in the viewer, if these judges
Mhm.
are from overseas, maybe they've never been to Japan. Maybe
True.
this is exactly what they think, and they're like, "Oh, fantastic job!
10 points.
Yeah, 10 points,
Yeah,
11
yeah,
points,
yeah.
because you nailed it so hard." Where she hit these things that were where other people knew,
Mm.
that dango hairstyle from Sailor Moon,
Right.
the pink hair, those beckoning cats. People are like, oh, I've seen those before. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's Japan. Yeah.
Now, coming from the US
Mhm.
to do anything disrespectful to the flag in any way, I mean, it shouldn't be touching the ground. There's a special way to fold it.
Mhm.
You shouldn't write on it and stuff.
Right.
Her design, it looks like she cut a flag in half almost.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
And put it on her. So, but I know in Japan, like, I've seen plenty of like athletes, they like sign the flag,
yeah.
and then they like pass it around, and everyone's like gambare,
Mhm.
So I guess it's a different feeling of respect for a flag,
Right.
compared to the States. But she's nailing on the head what cool Japan is.
Right.
And I don't think she's trying to,
for the mainstream audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For everyone who's on TikTok right now and watching YouTube, So, and that's who it's for, I believe.
Yeah. And the other thing is the highlighting the Harajuku, or trying to say that it's Harajuku style. I don't want to generalize, but I think that there's a lot of people who think Japan equals Harajuku, Japan equals Tokyo, Japan equals Tokyo Tower, Japan equals Shibuya, Japan equals
Akihabara,
Shinjuku, Akihabara. And there's been instances where even I was, in a forum and talking about like, no, Japan isn't Tokyo. There's other
Right.
places that are beautiful and more, gorgeous than
Yeah,
just those
Inako
places.
Bachans are so
So
friendly. You don't know.
And there's just so much more, but people don't like to hear those kinds of things because it messes with their fantasy about how
Magical.
futuristic and magical and crazy Japan is.
Yes.
That's
That's very true.
This dress is what people's image of Japan is in fashion, in a clothing style.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
crazy. It's futuristic. It's high tech.
Yes.
It's neo. Like, it's just to say that Japan has this huge image ingrained into people's minds that
In Western minds.
minds, it's futuristic. Go to Tokyo.
What
it's
it is.
crazy.
Yes.
But, maybe
and it's all done through entertainment. This is very entertaining.
Entertaining as well.
Yeah.
So it's like
completely. To cover up what the headline explains.
Wearing a
reading
dead person.
through.
Yep.
Another thing that bothered people was the way the kimono was folded over the model's chest, right over left, which is only seen on kimono worn by people that are deceased, dead people.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that. That could be just a mistake. Could have been.
It could have.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows if it was like whoever made this dress, maybe it was someone from overseas, like a fashion designer from overseas.
Maybe.
And they're like, oh, kimono, robe, here. It folds whatever way it folds.
But
should she know?
The other thing that I want to understand is this a real kimono, everybody?
Ooh, yeah.
Is this a real kimono? Would you wear this as a kimono?
I would say that's not a kimono.
I would also agree that is not a kimono. It's fashioned like a kimono.
Yes,
but
it impersonates a kimono.
Yes, but I don't think
to some degree.
To some degree.
Totally not.
Yeah.
Come on. I would not. Yeah. You brought up a really good point. That's not a kimono.
Maybe it is, but I don't feel, looking at kimonos in, Kyoto and looking at this, I don't think it's a kimono.
Okay, so yes, that's the best way to state it. It's not a kimono, so don't get upset as a kimono. There were a bunch of tweets around this whole thing. A lot of people criticizing her, very, very upset, saying don't insult Japan, don't insult the emblem that she had on her belt. People say like that's only for the emperor, like no one should be using that.
Yeah.
Traditionally, yes, but is that the traditional look of it? Is that the actual one? Or is it just like, hey, here's a design, right? One person said, I can feel the designer has a great respect and an admiration of Japanese culture, but it seems there's a poor understanding of it.
Yeah.
Because rather than having a Japanese designer come up with the costume concept design, Israel designer Aviad Arik Herman was enlisted for the job.
Okay.
And it was to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Japan and Israel. Well, who decided that?
Yeah.
So we just wanted to read this and have everyone's eyes on it to see like maybe what is really up with this.
Yeah.
We don't know. These are just words that people say. We would like to talk with her completely. People should understand and like reach out, be more open to be like, let's hear all stories before we just pose judgment.
Right.
But that's it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it in any way possible.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, do the stuff you got to do. That's it. We'll see you on the next step.